peoples, it's me Gabrielle. Yes! Welcome back to another art tip tutorial video. Today we are going to be drawing faces. I know in the last tutorial I did facial expressions, but there has been some curiosity and interest in seeing how I draw faces just to begin with. So let's get right into it. Today we're going to be drawing some new-ish characters that have not really seen the light of day on this channel. I mean, kind of. They sort of have. You might recognize them from the short that I posted. Which of these characters in my webcomic are the villain? First, we are going to start with a female character, aka Ellie. How I start pretty much all of my faces is with a circle. Whether or not I stick to this circle is the question. Depending on wherever angle they're looking, I adjust, because sometimes I will just do a weird hexagonal shape or something a bit more natural or geometric. Then from here, I go into guidelines. We'll start with a looking forward, I guess. And then around where the points are in this hexagon, I put the eye line under that for the bottom of the eyelids, or the eyes. And then I it depends really. For girls, I do like to use more round shapes for my female characters, even though I do have female characters that are more chiseled, so there I will kind of follow how I do for drawing men. But Ellie's face is very round, so I'll go in with like an oval. Sometimes I'll just go straight in with the jawline, but I typically like to just do rough shapes at first for the layout. So after that, at the bottom of this starting circle or hexagon shape is where the bottom of her nose will be, and then underneath that I kind of just eyeball like evenly between those where the mouth is. Then for the eyes, I just do 2 more circles just for the sockets, because if you look at a skull, the shape that you're seeing is not just the eyes, like the eyes are set into a socket, so that'll also help and translate into like a 3/4 view for how the eyes are set, because they're not like on the surface of your face, I guess. Like there's a lot more dimensions to take into account. So this definitely helps, especially with spacing, because you want to be able to have enough space between the eyes and on the sides. And then for the nose, I pretty much just draw a rough triangle, depending on the nose shape, adjusting the triangle to be either more narrow or wider. Lips, I don't really do much of a shape for them. I kind of just go right into it. But sometimes I'll like do a little oval, or like I'll just roughly do a kind of weird half looking semicircle thing, and then the bottom lip, just refine it over time. So her face is very round, not round like circle round or oval round. I would say it's kind of heart shaped. Granted, I don't draw her all the time. I have had her for a very long time. I made her back in 2020. I drew her only like a handful of times though. I never really thought of a backstory, but as I was writing the script for the comic, I needed characters and like side characters to use for certain instances. Oh, I have a bunch of characters to use at my disposal. Time to make some of them a little important to the plot, I guess. Nice side character and deviation from the main plot. So for the eyes, depending on the eye shape, again, like the past tutorials, you want to just break it down into shapes. So for Iggy's eyes, his eyes are very droopy, so I tend to do very wide but droopy look, like towards the bottom, flat and then rounded. Jace's eyes are very slanted, kind of like that RBF look. Very similar to kind of how Amori's are, but Amori's, I would say, are a lot more fox-like. Keiko, her eyes are very wide and round. And then Amori, hers are very smooth. Not as chiseled as Jace's. So more of that fox eye look. And then the eyelashes I just do for stylistic choices for my ladies, for my girls. Back to Ellie. She's Chinese, so her eyes are very much a mix between Keiko and Amori. They are a little wider than Amori's, but she still kind of has that fox-like look to her. But I would say it's more of like a cat eye. Keiko's eyes are very puppy dog-esque. Amori's are very fox-like, and I would say Ellie's are very cat-like. When I first made her, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have any Chinese OCs, and I speak Chinese, so that's kind of silly. Let's talk about. Her eyebrows are pretty similar to Keiko's, but just a little thicker, I would say. Not super thick, but eyebrows, Eyebrows I definitely used to have a hard time with drawing. My mom told me a tip. She'd be like, oh, if you can't draw the other eyebrow and you're having a hard time, flip your paper upside down and then try drawing it there so that they look a little bit more similar. And I tried that and it kind of worked. I mean, granted, I don't do that anymore. I kind of just keep working with it until I have something that I like. But that's just a little tidbit, a little something. Again, just breaking down into shapes. So noses, I obviously start with a triangle, and what I pretty much do for all of my noses, I just do two little parenthesis looking things, one on the bottom to connect it to make that little, what would that be, your septum? More on the side, more parentheses on the side, just creating the shape of the nose. Sometimes I'll have some difficulty with like angle of the nose that it's pointing. For example, Iggy's nose is very hooked and like downward sloping. So sometimes I'll just, this is side view, I'm drawing in profile, but if I'm straight ahead with his nose, sometimes I put the circle just to remind myself that, okay, his nose comes over like this. So where I put this fun little line thing that I do, it has to be closer to the bottom of the circle to give that illusion that it's being turned downwards compared to, let's say, Keiko's nose, which is like button nose. So here's her nose, this circle will be here. The little stylistic lines that I put to like chisel the nose further would be higher up on that center circle. So now for her lips, I'm gonna just keep working with what we have here, but we're gonna just give her a little bit more personality. Give her a little devious smile. Gonna do a little lip bite action here, because shorty a little crazy. Not crazy in like the Amori way, but just crazy in the Seth way. That's how she's crazy. I'll say that much. Bruh. For her ears, even though her ears don't really show, but I guess I'll put her hair in a headband so that her ears do show. The top of the ear, I said this I think in my expressions tutorial maybe? I don't know. But the top of the ears line up with the top of the eyes and the top of the, like across the nose bridge. So going across. So there could be a middle line in between these two top and bottom lines for the eyes. This top line is for the brows, the brow bone, and the top of the eye socket. So it's not necessarily the top of the eyeball, but the eyes can widen to that size. And this bottom line is for the bottom lid, but this middle line could be like where her eyes are resting, and that'll be where her ears are, top of her ear, and then the bottom of her ear is across where her nose is. Gorgeous, beautiful. All right, now on to Mr. Adrien. We are changing the center line. We are making it slightly curved because it is on a 3D plane. We are adding in an oval, rounded shape for his jaw. That's another thing that I did want to bring up. There's this little tool thing that I used to do when I was younger to draw faces, where I would draw a circle and then I would draw a square and then like go from there. Me personally, that did not last very long when I was younger, when I was doing that, because it looks ugly.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
For the style that I had at the time, it just made it look very unnatural and very weird, and kind of like my character's faces were melting off. Since it was such structured and non-organic shapes that we were dealing with, it was hard to vary the face shape and add variety to it, or to make it less chiseled. So I stopped doing that eventually, and when I did, I just kind of winged doing heads and like faces, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna just draw random shapes and go from there. Something that I sometimes like to do with especially like 3/4 views is add the side circles just to remind myself of where the jaw should be, how the head is angled. He's got them Eastern European cheekbones. Now, what I do for the eye sockets here, rather than like full circle, I kind of do like a weird parallelogram looking rectangular rhombus looking thing, just because when you're doing a 3/4 view, the brow bone kind of comes in, or protrudes out while the cheek comes in. And right here is like your eye socket where your eyeball sits. The circles for just the eyeballs themselves sitting in the sockets. His nose is hooked and narrow, and his mouth also going in the same direction on the plane. Since his eyes are set in, his eyes are kind of squintier like Kilo's, but also droopy like Iggy's. I like to set the eyes into those eye sockets that I draw out for myself and set up. It's so funny too because his scars were like a lot more toned down, and then I just decided to be like, yeah, like half of his face is just like melted off. Why not? Beautiful. Beautiful. And then for side view, I'll do one more character. This is also another side character. I'll draw Arya for you guys. She has a very interesting side profile. So I like to start off with the center line, and I have that go back to meet, we'll do halfway for profile view, halfway in the middle of this circle, of this starting circle. So this is where the bottom of the skull is, the neck. So we have the eye line, top, bottom, we have the nose, and we have the mouth kind of at the bottom here, since where the jaw, like if you feel your skull, there's like a bump that meets right at the bottom of your ear and where your jaw starts. So that is this place here where the top of her ear is gonna go. And you want the ear to kind of be a little flatter since you're looking at it at a side view, and just so you can see a little bit more into the ear. Now for her eye sockets, I do again a slimmer, weird parallelogram thing. For the eyes, I really just stick to doing very simple shapes. I just do one line for the top lid, one line for the bottom lid. And then literally, like in my sketches, just one line to show the pupil, just because the pupil is so flat on the eye. We're going to add another basic triangle for her nose. For her specifically, I mean, you could adjust the nose however you need to with whatever type of nose your character has. With her nose is very hooked downwards. So we're going to cut off the tip of this triangle. Give her a softer expression, just because she's very voice of reason. Arya is pretty much the chief's assistant. She's a lieutenant. It's like good cop, bad cop pretty much with her and Adrien. She's a lot more caring and understanding, while Adrien is very logical and straight to the point, very facts-based, and doesn't really care much about people's emotions. So she very much has a very motherly aura about her. With lips, I kind of just follow the shape of how lips are with looking at reference. They go up, around, a little triangle right here, and then up, around again, kind of doing a little kissy thing. And then the chin comes out a little bit, but it's still this downward angle. Sure, in some cases, the person will have their jaw coming out and like with an underbite, I guess, but with anatomically correct structure, it's going to be a lot straighter, and the jaw, the chin isn't really going to come past the nose. It won't let me There she is. Arya Nakai. Okay. Good. Okay, so we have our 3 headshots. We have front facing, 3/4, and side profile. I'm going to finish these up, and yeah. I hope this made drawing faces a little bit easier with angles and stuff. If you want me to do a more in-depth, like full 360 version of this, let me know. Or if you have any other drawing tutorial ideas, tips, whatever, that you would like me to shed my wisdom on, please let me know. So I'm going to finish these up.
Well, this one is a knocker. Step in on the dance and I just my dance. Everything scatter.
Right now man active, down with the game like a bandit. Me bring the flame like a matches. Test me now, without the slackness. Active style and pattern, that's how I'm there. Active, active, active. One live life massive, talking up and off the brandish. Touch road and hold the world hostage. When I start the bumper clad mash pit, when me step out old face get active. Active, 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 active. Hey, can you stand now? Clocks on the teeth side, bad bitch on each side. Big splits, chillin' on the beat side. Run things where you feel like. Cake big, have a carve out the peace line. Freestyle now, millions for each line. Too cool, man, I need ice in my beverage. Test this bigger, please find the exit. Right now man active, gone with the game like a bandit. Me bring the flame like a matches. Let's me know, without the slackness. Active style and pattern, that's how I'm there. Active, active, active. One live like massive, talking up and off the brandish. Touch road and hold the world hostage. When I start the bumper clad mash pit, when me step out old place get active. Active, 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 active.
Inside my head, God, you are the devil running through my mind. I can't get on your level. I swear to God I tried. T-A-V-I-L. I am not under your spell. T-A-V-I-L. Turn around and turn ahead. T-A-V-I-L. You cannot be anymore. Oh my God, you are the devil. So hard to save. Hallowed by my love for you, always stop me going under. Follow every step I take, cause our walls are coming down. God, you are the devil running through my mind. I can't get on your level. I swear to God I tried.
Here are the finished products. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know if there's any other art tutorials or tip videos you would like to see from me, or just any other videos in general, whether that be redraws or new speed paints or storyboarding, whatever it is. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao, ta-ta, toodles.